Good day, everyone. My name is Steven Daniel, and I'm from L2 Icon. This charity premier initiative is co-organized by Legal Plus and L2 Icon. It is not only a charity drive, but it also helps to raise awareness of the great deeds of some of the charitable organizations we have in our community. It is my pleasure today to welcome Ms. Julie Das, who is the founder and project director of Greater Action. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Steven, for having me. Yeah, it's a great opportunity to speak to your members, your staff, and to the world about the refugee cause. Thank you so much.
Okay, Miss Julie, could you tell us a bit about Greater Action and how it came about?
Yes. Before I venture into that, I think I'd like to highlight that Malaysia has not signed the 1951 Convention for Refugee, which means in clear text that refugees have no legal right in Malaysia. Yeah, they have no access to legal jobs, they have no access to local schools, and they have very limited access to healthcare. In Malaysia, you have 180,000 refugees, among which 46,000 are children. How we came about was last year in March, started when the pandemic hit, and we decided to support the lives of the most marginalized and vulnerable refugees that have newly arrived to Malaysia. So I'd say those who have been here less than 3 years. Yeah, so we're helping them with education, with livelihood, with healthcare, and so on. So I'm going to go into details. So for education, we make sure that the children are attending those learning centers. When they are 6 to 18 years old, we provide the school fees for them, and we take care of 220 children. Yeah. For livelihood, we provide food basket, nutritious food basket that are different and cater to their needs. Yeah. If you have a family with young children, then you'd be given more of milk powder. If a woman is pregnant, then she'll be giving nutritious food that would be with iron and protein and so on. Yeah. For healthcare, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of budget for that, but that's an area that is very much needed. We help those having chronic disease, so diabetes or epileptic, those having orthopedic problem or mental health issue. Yeah. Now, along the way, we also open an online English school. It's an academy which provides English classes for young adults. They are between 18 onwards, yeah. So these English classes are not only good for them to get along and manage their day-to-day life, but it also helps them to access better jobs. Now, we also have a mom support group. This is for refugee women who have their first child in Malaysia. And then another area, which is the mental health. Unfortunately, this area has grown very, very big. A lot of refugee women came with PTSD, post-traumatic experience, and their emotion became more unstable, and we had to support them in that way. So we have a team of 10 therapists that help them on one-to-one session, as well as providing a group session. And then the last one is a sustainable project. So because most of the refugees had lost their jobs, we decided to create a home-based job in tailoring, baking, and cooking. So we pretty much take care of everything from education, food, healthcare, their mental health, babies, and helping them to be financially independent with those sustainable projects.
And all of this started just last year.
Yes, all of this started last year. We started with food provision, and then very quickly we realized that it's not enough. You know, the refugees themselves had to make choice between sending their kids to school or paying for their rent. And so we came in and we decided to put this school sponsorship system into place. And then because we're very much on the field and We know each and every family. We realized some of them were sick, and because of that, they couldn't work, they couldn't cope. So it just, how shall I say? It's never ending, but we really want to take care of them from A to Z. Yeah, we are like 24/7 on call. We have a team of dedicated, enthusiastic, dynamic volunteers. Yeah, Greater Action is 100% volunteer charity based. All of us have a job and give their time on the side, but this side is usually more than their own job. And we make sure that when people give 100 ringgit, this 100 ringgit goes to the family for their different needs. Yeah, there is absolutely no admin cost, and we're very also transparent. So we try to bridge the gap between the sponsors and the refugees. So if the sponsors wish to have contact with the refugee, we're very open to that. Inclusion is very, very important, makes them feel proud, and they gives them a sense of belonging, that people are thinking of them and not only giving them money. Yeah.
So how many people are benefiting from this? How many refugees is being helped by your organization?
We have it's 250 families. A family would be between 3 to 8 members. There are 90% coming from Afghanistan and 10% are Rohingyas from Myanmar. 250 families. So it's about times, you can say 5 maybe, average. 5 family members. Mm-hmm.
So on average, how many children, because you did mention something, you did mention about studies, education, how many children roughly?
So children from 6 to 18 years old, 220 are currently sponsored for their school fees and for their school lunch. But we have a long list, and we definitely need more support in that area.
And Miss Julie, how much roughly does Greater Action require on a monthly basis to run all your operations and your initiatives?
We spend monthly 10,000 ringgit for the education itself. To sponsor a child education is 200 ringgit per month, and we usually ask for a commitment of 1 year. Now, people can also help with food relief, so that would be 200 to 250 per month. Same for the emergency healthcare for the chronic disease, it's 250 per month. For pregnancy, delivery is 2,500. For a normal delivery, for a C-section, it's 5,000 to 6,000. Then we do help some families who have lost their father, for example, and women are not able to work, so we help them with the rent. The rent is usually between 500 to 800 ringgit. And then we help with the vocational training. But that is a new project that I'll maybe discuss later. That costs between 1,500 to 2,000 ringgit to help offer a vocational training to a refugee.
Wow, that's a lot. And most of the funding so far has been coming from
individual. People like you and me, yes. We've had 2 companies that have helped us one time. I don't know if I should mention or not, but it was with small amount, and they helped us with food only. But the rest for education, for health, for pregnancy, it's all the effort of individuals. So we have a huge network of teachers, because I'm a teacher myself. And we work actually very closely with different international schools. And through Facebook, we also have followers and people who are aware of what we do, because we're very transparent. And they're joining the Greater Action family. But we don't have a large supporters yet.
And lastly, Miss Julie, may I know what other areas does Greater Action need help in?
I think hopefully when things will stabilize and that refugees can slowly get back on their feet, we really would like to focus on the vocational training. We're working with a barber who is a very experienced barber who is able to offer skills training to refugees, and that would be really good because it will give them the opportunity to be financially independent and to get access to jobs. So we'd like to develop that. And you being, for example, an IT company, we're hoping to offer vocational training in coding, for example. We're looking for jobs that can be done from home as well, because they don't have the freedom of movement, and it's always risky for them to move around. So coding would be something which could be very interesting to look into. Now, coding means IT equipment, means we're looking for secondhand phones and iPad and laptop, as well as for the education. All the classes been online, and the students are really struggling. Many of them, most of them, have never touched a computer, and they're only using their phone for classes. And sometimes most of the time it's one phone per family. So when you have a family of 8 with 6 kids that need to take lessons at the same time, don't need to explain you how difficult it is. Then we would need help for the pregnant women, because being a refugee is already tough, but being a refugee pregnant, you can imagine how difficult it is. And those costs of 2,500 for normal delivery is just a huge amount for them. So that's another area to help. Now another one would be the school sponsorship. Monthly we have list of children that are on that list, and that would need a 200 ringgit per month. So that would be another area. For the mental health, yes, we also would like to have more psychologists and counselors to help us, but those need to be certified, because it's really expensive to send them to a professional. But you do have professionals who are happy to give their time once a week, and that's the kind of people we're looking for. So many different areas to be covered. But we always make do with what we have. That's how we've been working so far. As I said, we're all volunteers, and things have just fallen into place, I guess, because we have the right intention, because we're very close to the families, and we give a lot of feedback, and we always try to bring the refugee and the sponsor together. Even if it's virtual, we make sure that they are in contact, so people know where they are giving and for what cause.